Hello, my good friends. Mike Shreve here. Welcome to the sales email process for the quick launch sequence. This is going to be very, very simple. The first email that we're going to send out is on launch day. So let me actually do this. Launch day email. There we go. Launch day email. First email. That's our Monday email. Very, very simple subject line. Now open the Happy Writer program. There's a couple things I want to talk about here that I feel I failed at, because again, we learn best by failing. Two things is in the pre-launch emails, I probably could have run the name, the Happy Writer, a little bit more, meaning I probably could have done a little bit better of a job explaining how it was a program. I mentioned it a little bit, not that much. I think if I had raised awareness just a little bit more, I think this email would have made us a little bit more in sales. I mean, it still did fine, but I think we could have squeezed a little bit more out of that. Secondly, and you'll see here in a second, one of the things that I did for this program, and when you remove a webinar, when you remove a big pre-launch like PLF, it's smart to make up for that lack in, you could call it like sales and marketing juice. If you don't have a webinar and you don't have the PLF style stuff like we were talking about, then typically what you can do is you can do something special for the offer to really get people to want to buy. So in this instance, I gave away a bonus. To be honest, I don't even remember what the bonus was 6 months ago. For the first 25 people who purchase, I can't even remember what it was. But this is the first time you really hear about it. I kind of hint to it kind of in some of the pre-launch emails, but what you're going to see is this is your standard email, so there's not really even much to talk about. It's just your standard launch day. Hey, it's open. Here's what we're going to be talking about. Here's the reason you should buy it now. Here's how you get it. This is great. Awesome. Here we go. Done. Okay, so that's all our launch email is. Very, very straightforward. But then we have on that same day, the bonus, which was available to the first 25 people, sold out. And you can see here that, one, I honestly didn't anticipate selling out 25 fast action bonuses, but I remember the reaction to this email. A lot of people were like, what? I didn't even know there was a fast action bonus. I'm upset that I didn't know about it. So I think in the future, if I'm going to do a fast action bonus, one of the things I might do in my pre-launch is make it a little bit more clear, maybe even have an entire pre-launch email dedicated just to the fast action bonus, so that people are fully aware and incentivized to show up. So again, it's like if I were selling tickets to a concert and I didn't tell anybody I was selling them, how upset some of the hardcore fans would be. That's kind of exactly what happened. Not saying I'm a rock star or anything, and please don't ever think that I think that. I do not think that at all. But the people who are like this, who want this problem solved, how about that? They are groupies to this problem being solved for themselves, and they were bummed that they missed out on this. So otherwise, what this email is, very, very short. All it is I legitimately, truthfully, honestly, you have to do this with integrity, didn't anticipate selling out of the 25 fast action bonuses so quickly. And what happened is we were done. You can see that this was written at 11:59 a.m. We only launched at like 9 a.m. So 2 hours into the launch, we just blasted through the 25 fast action bonuses. So what we are going to do so what we did here is we made that announcement of, oh my gosh, the fast action bonus is totally sold out, you guys, in full integrity, being totally, like I said, telling the truth. What I did is I said we're going to extend the fast action bonus. Okay, so looks like it was some one-on-one time purchase within a reasonable time frame, very near the midnight Pacific time. So instead of going first 25, we gave a hard deadline. Okay, and so we encouraged people to get in on the program at the time that they they could get in on the program. Okay, so just keep that in mind when reading this. This actually did happen. This Monday was, I can't remember what holiday it was, but it was a holiday in the United States where it was like a government holiday, so everybody had the Monday off. Typically, when you launch on or near a holiday, your sales aren't great, simply because people don't sit by their computer on their holiday. They go out, they have, they do what they need to do, and et cetera, et cetera. So one of the things that, one of the reasons we were surprised is I just didn't anticipate that there would be that many people actually checking their email on a Monday morning on a federal holiday. So keep that in mind. Don't fake this stuff. Again, don't be like those people who do fake it. If it's real, awesome, great. You can use it to your advantage by sending out this email just like that. If this doesn't happen to you, don't send this email, right? That simple. To give you an idea, though, again, of the flexibility of this launch, I was writing these emails as it was happening. That's what I love about Quick Launch. I didn't write all the pre-launch emails and then load them into my autoresponder. I didn't write all the sales emails and load them into my autoresponder. So I could play a little bit more to the live action that was going on. And that's one of the benefits of a quick launch versus some of these other launches where clients want you to write the whole sequence before they launch. This is just kind of catch as catch can. Here we go. Let's have some fun. And you can write fun subject lines like "Holy Sold Out Batman." So lots of fun. One of my favorite ways to launch. All right, next this is the one that we're sending the day after. So this is Tuesday AM. And the first thing we're going to do, objection handling. Objection handling. Okay, so we know in pre-launch, we kind of already covered the writers are all poor. In this one, we are covering the objection is the only way to make money as a writer is if you sell your soul. Okay, so you can read this as an argument against that objection using all of sort of the basic stuff that we're talking about here. The reasons why writing blogs isn't selling your soul, and here's where you need to purchase the program. Okay? So again, I'm selling this program as, and this is quite a long email. Your emails don't have to be this long. Part of the reason I was writing these emails, some of these emails are so long is because, one, I was having a ton of fun doing this. And I was very passionate about this particular niche, so I just kept going. But secondly, the sales page that I had, it was not good. Right? And I knew it wasn't good. So I had to lean on the emails a little bit more than I would have necessarily liked to. And so in the future, we'll do a much better sales page. And I'll be able to shorten a lot of these emails, because the longer an email is, the less likely someone is to click out of it. And so the problem becomes traffic issues to the sales page. And I apologize if you can hear some voices outside. There seems to be some event happening downtown, and this is one of the unforeseen circumstances of having an office downtown, which someday you may have as well, right? If you follow my email template. So I do apologize for that. Hopefully we'll be able to move on without it bothering us too much. Okay, so again, this email is just all about objection handling. That's it. You can read this as an example. That's why it's so long, because we had to do a little bit more work in the email versus the sales page, which is what I would have normally liked to do. Okay. So here we go. This is the email that we sent on Wednesday in the morning. And this is another objection. That's all we're doing. Just another objection. And the objection is, will I really find clients? Right? We've already made the case for the product in pre-launch and on launch day, right? We've said, make $200 to $400 per blog post. We don't need to spend a lot of time selling stuff to people in the traditional sense of like benefits, and coming up with just like countless. Now it's time to get the people who are not that 5%. Remember, when you understand the principles, you can have a lot of flexibility in this business. If we remember that the 5% who have this bleeding neck problem, they already bought on Monday. They bought it so fast that I didn't even have time. I didn't anticipate how many, fast action bonuses to give, because it sold out so fast, right? But now in these sales follow-ups, we're talking to the people who are still on the fence. So we have to talk to them about the objections that they have. This is, and oftentimes the objections can come from like a Facebook group or an email. So this was an email that we got from our support, and all I did is I just answered it in my email to everybody else. So this is you'll recognize this as a daily email tactic where you take a question and you deconstruct it, you overcome the objection. Again, this is a longer email because we didn't really have this kind of, this is the first time we were launching our product, right? And because it was the first time we were launching our product, we didn't know or really be able to anticipate what the objections were going to be. So I'm literally taking the objections as they come, addressing them in the email, and watching conversions increase. So again, like when I say take a product off your client's shelf and launch it to their list, this is what it looks like. You kind of just are doing it as you go. And as long as you maintain the, I'm going to hammer it home again and again and again. As long as you maintain the principles, you can have this kind of flexibility. Okay, so again, just pretty straightforward. I think you can read this on your own and see, not too much going on here other than just addressing an objection. Okay, now here we go to this email, which is going to be our Thursday email. And this is, what I like about this email is that its main focus is overcoming an internal objection. Okay, so one of the things you'll find if you're in any kind of business or your client is in any kind of business where the person has to believe in themselves before they can do the thing. So in weight loss, in relationships, in financial, in business opportunity, in training programs, in any kind of even service offerings, like let's say it's a personal trainer offering their personal services, still the person has to believe in themselves enough that if they hire a personal trainer, they're going to follow through, or they're going to be able to do it, or they are competent and good enough and better enough, not better enough, but competent and good enough to get the result that you're promising in their emails. One of the most common objections that I hear all of the time, and when you can nail this, you will see tremendous results in terms of sales is, well, the objection is this. Well, it works for other people, but it's probably not going to work for me because reason. So this email is all about helping people to overcome that internal objection that I'm not good enough to earn $200 to $400 per blog post. And I use the curiosity opener, facepalm not again. Something happened yesterday that reminded me for the 10,000th time that there's no such thing as competition. And so you see, we're seeing, if you're familiar with the daily email training, we're opening with that story loop. And I don't really close it here, so I could improve that, right? I could actually talk about what did happen so that it would be a more clear picture in their mind. But all I'm doing is I'm saying, look, the only thing you actually need to succeed as a blog post writer are these 5 things. These 5 things right here. And if you have them, you can do this. Now, you have to tell the truth, so you can't lie and distort what it actually takes for the person to succeed. But if you have a big enough email list, you know that when you put these 5 things or these 3 things or these whatever, this number one thing it takes out into that big list of people, there's enough of those people who are going to look at that and say, do you know what? I think I can do that. And they are going to desire to purchase the program because you'll help them to overcome the objection. And essentially, all that I say here is basic human stuff, like take responsibility, be empathetic towards others, check yourself, think and act like a professional, don't be a quitter, aka be a good person. We talk about, people who scam clients by over-promising and under-delivering. and you can recognize these kinds of people, and we're really just hammering home the fact that, like, if you're a decent person, this will work for you. You do have what it takes, because I'm going to teach you everything else. Now, keep in mind, the client's program actually has to do that. So don't make those kinds of promises if the client's program doesn't. But again, don't underestimate that as an objection that you need to overcome in writing for your client. All right, so that was the email that went on Thursday. Here's the email that went out on Friday. I just realized I used this quote twice in two different emails. So I'll have to change that on the Wednesday email and then again on the Friday email. But all we're doing here is we are taking some more of those sacred cows, the ideas that people have in their brain, the false ideas about writing, and we're just bashing them. I mean, we are just bashing them. Okay, so have you ever wondered what the difference is between a freelancer who earns $25 an hour and one who earns $125 an hour? Is it skill? That's what most people say. No. Is it experience? No. I think in the future what I'll do is I'll share some actual case studies of people from Happy Writer who proved that. Is it hustle? No, etc., etc. And what I'm selling here essentially is the process. I'm saying the difference between somebody who makes $25 an hour and $125 an hour is this process that I'm telling you about. And then what you do here is, if you pitch the answer to that question as the product, then all you have to do now is proof your claim. And when you proof your claim, it will help to alter their beliefs. So let's break this down very, very slowly. People have a lot of beliefs about a $25 an hour freelancer versus a $125 an hour freelancer. Okay? All of those, there's so many different beliefs in that idea that I can't call each one of them out specifically. So what I say is the difference is this system that I've developed. Now, here's why the system works. So what you do is you say, I want to change your belief by making you realize it's just this system. It's not all these complicated things. But in order for you to believe that this system is what actually is the difference, I need you now to believe in the system. Okay, so there's a couple steps happening here for changing belief, but we are making the connection regardless. Okay, so you can see here, one of the things that one of my mentors taught me is that if you want people to believe that you can help them, help them. So whenever you're in these emails overcoming an objection, one of the things you can do is to actually help people within the email. So what I've done here is I've said, here's my system. And then all I did for the rest of this email was try to help people to have a breakthrough. Now, we think often that the only time we help someone is if they get something huge. But in reality, there's a lot of people who feel tremendously helped when they feel that someone has listened to them, when they feel that they've had a breakthrough, when they feel that they finally understand something, when they overcome frustration, when they overcome confusion. And so literally for this entire rest of this email, all I'm doing is trying to get them to have a breakthrough moment. Okay? That's all that I'm trying to do. And then I'm saying that that breakthrough moment is part of this process, my writing process, which I teach in the Happy Writer. And the Happy Writer process is the difference between a $25 an hour and a $125 an hour freelancer. Okay, so this one is a little bit more, there's a couple more steps going on here in overcoming objection. But again, you guys, it's the core principle. What do I need to do in my sales follow-up? Oh, I just need to overcome objections. I need to figure out what people are thinking, why they aren't going to buy this thing, because all of the people with the bleeding neck problem, they already bought on launch day and the day after launch day. They were so excited at the pre-launch emails. Now I'm just talking to the people who are on the fence, who have objections that need to be overcome. Okay? So that was our Friday email. This was the last email of our sort of sales emails, right? If you think about the calendar, now we're going into the close down. And so let's talk about that. Again, just your standard close down type emails. We send 2 the day before it closes down and then 2 on the same day. All we're doing here is just recapping the benefits. This is the last day to get 50% off. How to write blog posts, where to find these mystical magical clients. Just very sparse. Final countdown. If it's what you want, here we go. This is the one that we send in the morning and then in the afternoon. This one, I really like this approach to selling in the quick launch style where everything kind of happens very quickly. It requires that you have a Facebook group or access to the support inbox. And basically, all I'm doing here is just taking screen caps of people being super excited, and I'm using social proof to show that this program is awesome. And when you have a program that doesn't, that's brand new, or maybe it's an offer that's never been run before, this is a great way to add social proof and just another reason for people to jump on board if you don't have testimonials. Now, when I launch this program again, and I'm going to be launching it here probably in the next few weeks, I will be running this with a lot more of the student testimonials. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing, and that's going to be super, super fun. And so I probably won't have this email in there. Instead, it will just be like, let me tell you a story of somebody who took Happy Writer 5 months ago and is now writing full time, and et cetera, and et cetera. Okay, so again, we're just listing, hey, it's a guarantee. Like if you haven't bought at this point, maybe you're just worried, that it's not going to work for you or whatever. Here's a guarantee, and away we go. So that's the Saturday afternoon. And then Sunday morning, we are looking at literally a 3-line, 4-line, 5-line email. Ends today. Happy Writer. Don't need anything but traffic. You've sent them all the reasons to buy. Now it's just reminders at this point, right? Again, think about the close down. Think about the principles. You guys will, you'll have to do this a couple times, and you'll want to use the templates, rely on the templates, but eventually you'll get to a point where a client says, hey, I need to launch this, and you'll be like, great. I'll write an email a day. I won't even have to think about it. You just sit down. It's rote. The principles have been ingrained into you, and you just send it off, and it doesn't take much more than 10, 15 minutes to write these emails. This email maybe took 3 minutes. I think this email probably took me longer to send to my virtual assistant so that they could upload it into ActiveCampaign than it actually took me to write the email. And it was a very profitable email because, again, on the last day, this is when a lot of your sales you're going to see a lot of really, really successful sales. And then here we go. This is the final email that I sent at 4. I think next time I do this, I might send one more email on closing day. But all I'm doing here is I took some of the bullet points from the sales page to get some curiosity to sort of what I did is I picked the best bullet points from the sales page. So I picked the ones that were most intriguing and most interesting, and that I thought would, push the people at the very end just over the edge, and then final call, price doubles tomorrow, and that's what we did. And that's it. So that's it for the sales emails, my friends. There's quite a few, so let's count how many we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 emails. So there's quite a few, but these are very easy to write. I wrote all the emails in the sequence each morning, or maybe I think the night before. So the morning email I would write the night before. And I had no idea when I sat down to write what these emails would be. I just relied on the principles. I just said, okay, where are we in this process? Okay, right now, I've sent them all, I've overcome all the major objections. Okay, and the only thing that's left if they haven't bought is just we got to pressure and let them know that the 50% off price is not going to be around forever. Okay, here we go. Like, I need to write an email right now that lets them know, quick reminder. I don't need to, make it big and fluffy or anything like that. I don't really need to overcome any objections. And that's all you do. And that's what I love about quick launch emails is just, like I said, how flexible and freeing they are as a system of launching. Now, I can tell you that even though we did $55,000 in about a week's time, that we probably could have squeezed out another $20,000 or $30,000 if we had done if we had done a PLF launch, or if we had done a webinar, or any of those types of things. We could have likely done a lot more and done a lot better. But for me, in that particular time, as the client for myself, I didn't want to do a webinar. I didn't want to have to put together that whole presentation, because think of it from the client's standpoint and from yours, just in terms of work volume. A webinar is essentially an entire sales letter on top of another sale. So it's a lot of work to put together a webinar. And this is just a real nice way to get some revenue, get some funds, get some cash into the business. And it's very, very hands-off, low-key. My operations manager, who I've known for a long, long time, and we've had the same clients before where she was working operations and I was working the marketing and the copy. When we ran this quick launch, she kept saying that was the easiest launch I've ever done in my entire career. And she's like, we should do more of those. I mean, she was like, we should do one every week. And I was like, I don't think our list will handle one every week. But, it was just very, very easy compared to the standard webinar, compared to the PLF. So if your client is sensing they're kind of feeling overwhelmed, this is a good way to launch their products in a low-key environment that allows them to, get as much money as you possibly can without running them into the ground. So I hope you enjoyed these videos. I hope you enjoy the templates. There's lots to be learned in just looking at them, those example emails, picking them apart and taking a peek at what they are. And remember, if you focus on principles, you can have a lot more fun and flexibility once you understand it's pre-launch, launch day, sales follow-up, close down. That's every single launch online with email follows that exact same simple method. All right, my dear friends, that's it for me for Quick Launch. On to the next section.